Welcome, Revelers of the King, to the Dark Primordial. I'm your host, Ken Schroer, and today we're delving into some fascinating current events in the world of magic, witchcraft, and the occult. From academic conferences to celebrity encounters, modern-day witch hunts, and doomsday movements, we've got a lot to unpack. And as always, all relevant articles will be linked below. So light your incense, grab your favorite snack, and let's explore the mystical side of today's news.
Our first story takes us to the world of academia, where the lines between scholarship and spirituality are blurring in intriguing ways. A taxpayer-funded academic conference in the UK is set to feature feminist witches casting spells as part of their presentations. This event, organized by the University of Exeter, is part of a broader project called Magical Thinking in Turbulent Times. It aims to explore how magical practices are being used to address contemporary social and political issues. The conference will include workshops on decolonial magic and queer ancestor work. Participants will engage in spellcasting and ritual practices. The event has sparked debate about the role of magical practices in academic settings. Now, you might be wondering, why care about witches in academia? Well, this intersection of witchcraft and scholarship represents a significant shift in how magical practices are perceived in our society. It's not just about spells and rituals. It's about reclaiming power and challenging traditional power structures. For centuries, witchcraft has been associated with the marginalized and oppressed, particularly women. By bringing these practices into academic spaces, these scholars are legitimizing alternative ways of knowing and understanding the world. This could have far-reaching implications for how we approach problem-solving in fields ranging from psychology to environmental science. However, this trend is not without controversy. Critics argue that magical practices have no place in serious academic discourse. They worry that this could undermine the credibility of scientific research and rational inquiry. Whether you believe in magic or not, this debate reflects broader questions about what kinds of knowledge we value as a society. It challenges us to consider whether there might be wisdom in traditions that have been dismissed or suppressed by mainstream culture. Let's delve deeper into the specific workshops planned for the conference. The Decolonial Magic Workshop, for example, focuses on using magical practices to challenge and dismantle colonial legacies in modern society. It encourages participants to explore their ancestral roots and reclaim spiritual practices that may have been suppressed or marginalized by colonial powers. This workshop highlights the power of magic as a tool for social and political change, offering a unique perspective on issues like cultural appropriation and identity. Meanwhile, the Queer Ancestor Work Workshop explores the intersections of LGBTQ+ identities and ancestral practices. It provides a space for queer individuals to connect with their spiritual heritage in ways that affirm their identities. This can be particularly empowering for those who have felt excluded from traditional religious or spiritual communities. Overall, the conference represents a bold step in recognizing the value of diverse spiritual practices in academic and social discourse. It challenges us to think beyond conventional boundaries and consider the potential of magical thinking to inspire new ways of understanding and addressing the challenges of our time. From the halls of academia to the world of media. Our next story involves former BBC presenter Adrian Chiles and his unexpected foray into the world of witchcraft. Known for his work on shows like The One Show and Match of the Day 2, Chiles has recently begun studying witchcraft after a mysterious encounter in the West Midlands. This experience has led him to explore the rich history of magical practices in the region. Chiles had a spooky experience that piqued his interest in witchcraft. He's now researching the history of witchcraft in the West Midlands. The region has a long association with magical practices, dating back centuries. Chiles' story is significant for several reasons. First, It shows how personal experiences can lead even skeptical individuals to explore the world of the occult. This reminds us that the boundary between the rational and the mystical is often more porous than we might think. Secondly, Chiles' research into local magical traditions highlights an often overlooked aspect of cultural heritage. Many of us live in areas with rich histories of magical practice, but these stories are often buried or dismissed as mere superstition. By exploring these local traditions, we can gain a deeper understanding of our communities and the beliefs that have shaped them over time. This kind of cultural knowledge can foster a sense of connection to our surroundings and to the generations that came before us. Moreover, Chiles' journey from skeptic to curious explorer mirrors the experience of many people today who are rediscovering magical practices. In a world that often feels out of control, exploring these traditions can provide a sense of agency and connection to something larger than ourselves. Chiles' exploration has led him to uncover fascinating stories from the West Midlands, such as the legend of the cunning folk, local healers, and magical practitioners who were once sought after for their wisdom and abilities. These individuals played crucial roles in their communities, providing herbal remedies, divination, and protection against malevolent forces. Understanding this history gives us insight into how people in the past navigated the mysteries of the world around them. Additionally, Chiles has been documenting his journey through various media outlets, sharing his experiences and newfound knowledge with a wider audience. This has sparked a renewed interest in the magical heritage of the West Midlands, encouraging others to explore the hidden histories of their own regions. Our third story takes a more somber turn, illustrating the potential dangers of being associated with witchcraft in today's world. A business in the UK has gone bust after being accused of witchcraft in what's been described as a modern-day witch hunt. This incident serves as a stark reminder that despite growing acceptance in some quarters, accusations of witchcraft can still have serious consequences. The business faced accusations of witchcraft, leading to its closure. This incident has been compared to historical witch hunts. It raises questions about the persistence of superstition and fear surrounding magical practices. This story shows that old fears and prejudices can still resurface in surprising ways. It's a painful reminder that, for many practitioners of alternative spiritualities, the threat of persecution is not just a historical footnote, but a present reality. This incident highlights several important issues. 1. The power of rumor and deception in the digital age. False accusations can spread rapidly online, causing real-world harm before the truth can catch up. In this case, a small business offering spiritual services was targeted by a smear campaign, resulting in a significant loss of customers and revenue. The business owners faced harassment and social ostracization, ultimately leading to their decision to close down. 2. The economic vulnerability of small businesses, especially those operating in niche or misunderstood markets. This incident highlights the challenges faced by businesses that cater to alternative spiritual practices, as they are often more susceptible to stigma and misunderstanding. 3. The persistence of superstition and magical thinking, even in societies that consider themselves rational and enlightened. This event reminds us that deeply ingrained fears and superstitions may still influence people's behavior and perceptions. 4. The potential for alternative spiritual practices to be scapegoated during times of social or economic stress. The business owners were accused of practicing harmful witchcraft, a charge that echoes the historical witch hunts where individuals were persecuted for their perceived association with malevolent magic. This incident underscores the importance of fostering tolerance and understanding in our communities. It also highlights the need for legal protections for practitioners of alternative spiritualities, ensuring they can practice their beliefs without fear of persecution or discrimination. Our final story takes us to the Middle East, where a Doomsday movement is gaining traction among young people. While not directly related to witchcraft, this phenomenon intersects with themes of prophecy and supernatural belief that are often associated with occult practices. The movement is based on predictions of an impending apocalypse. It's particularly popular among youth in countries like Iraq and Syria. The trend is linked to economic hardship and political instability in the region. This movement illustrates some universal human tendencies that are relevant to anyone interested in magical or occult practices. First, it shows how supernatural beliefs can gain traction during times of social and economic upheaval. When traditional institutions fail to provide security or meaning, people often turn to alternative belief systems for answers. Secondly, this movement highlights the power of prophecy and divination, practices that are common in many magical traditions. The appeal of knowing the future, especially in uncertain times, is a driving force behind many occult practices. Thirdly, this trend underscores the psychological impact of believing in supernatural forces. For many of these young people, the belief in an impending apocalypse provides a framework for understanding their difficult circumstances and a sense of purpose in preparing for the future. This worrisome movement goes to show that there is a definitive, real-world impact to magical thinking. Whether we're talking about doomsday cults or more benign forms of divination, beliefs in supernatural forces can profoundly shape people's actions and worldviews. The rise of this doomsday movement can be traced back to a combination of socio-political factors, including prolonged conflict, economic instability, and a sense of disillusionment with traditional sources of authority. In such environments, prophecies of doom can resonate strongly with those who feel powerless or disconnected from mainstream society. Moreover, the movement's appeal to young people highlights a generational gap in how different age groups perceive and respond to crises. For some, these apocalyptic beliefs provide a form of escapism, or a way to make sense of a chaotic world. For others, they offer a call to action, encouraging preparation and survival strategies. This trend serves as a reminder of the importance of addressing the underlying causes of social and economic distress. By providing support and resources to those affected by instability, we can help mitigate the appeal of extreme beliefs and movements. As we've seen today, the world of magic, witchcraft, and the occult continues to intersect with mainstream society in fascinating and sometimes unexpected ways. From academic conferences to celebrity encounters, from business troubles to doomsday movements. These stories remind us of the enduring power of magical thinking in our modern world. Whether you're a practicing witch, a curious skeptic, or somewhere in between, these trends affect us all. They shape public perception of magical practices, influence policy, decisions, and reflect deeper currents in our collective psyche. As we navigate this complex landscape, it's crucial to approach these topics with an open mind, critical thinking, and a healthy dose of respect for diverse beliefs and practices. By understanding these trends, we can work towards a more tolerant and enlightened society, one that respects spiritual diversity while also valuing rational inquiry.
If you're interested in exploring the world of witchcraft and the occult further, be sure to check out our Etsy and Shopify stores. We offer a curated selection of handcrafted and ethically sourced magical tools, books, and supplies to support your spiritual journey. Links are in the description below. Remember, knowledge is power, and understanding the role of magical thinking in our world can help us make more informed decisions about our own beliefs and practices. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay updated in all our explorations of the magical world around us. Until next time, may you become one with your own abyss.